They came from the void, and then they vanished. A civilization so vast, so powerful, that it spanned entire star clusters. Their technology defied the known laws of physics, bending space, time, and even reality itself. Their ships were more than mere machines. They were monuments of celestial dominance, drifting like gods between the stars. Their fleets darkened the skies of 1,000 worlds, their influence stretching across the cosmos like an unshakable empire. Their name? Lost to history, but their presence, their legacy, should have been undeniable. And yet today not a single trace of them remains. No ruins, no shattered remains of their war machines, no derelict starships floating in the abyss, their lights flickering like ghosts of a forgotten era. Not even a whisper in the cosmic background radiation, no dying echoes of distress signals drifting through the endless night. It's as if they were erased from existence itself. But how? What force could annihilate an empire of such magnitude? Think about it. When a civilization falls, something always remains. The echoes of their existence ripple through time. The remnants of their technology decay, but they do not simply vanish. Even the most ancient ruins of Earth's civilizations still endure buried beneath centuries of dust. Time does not erase everything, so what? In the vastness of space, where nothing truly disappears, is there no trace of them? Perhaps the answer lies in the cold, forgotten corners of the universe, or perhaps it's been staring us in the face all along. Imagine this, a distant world, once thriving, now silent. Its surface, once sculpted by the hands of an advanced species, now lies in ruins. Not the ruins of time, but the ruins of something unnatural. Towering spires of alien architecture, once stretching toward the heavens, are now crumbling and lifeless. Great cities, once teeming with life, now stand as hollow husks, the wind howling through abandoned corridors, carrying only the whispers of a civilization that no longer exists. No bodies. No signs of struggle, no craters from orbital bombardments, no wreckage of a final stand against an enemy. Just emptiness. What happened here? Was it war? A cataclysm of their own making? A superweapon so devastating that it left not a single remnant of its creators? Or was it something else? Some believe they ascended, evolving beyond physical form, becoming beings of pure energy, transcending into realms beyond our understanding, a civilization so advanced that they simply outgrew their need for the material world. Others say they were consumed, devoured by an enemy so powerful, so terrifyingly unknowable, that not even dust was left behind. A predator of civilizations, feeding on the achievements of those who dared to reach too far into the void. But there is another theory, a darker one. What if they were hunted? What if their disappearance was not an accident, nor an act of self-destruction, but a deliberate erasure? Our cleansing, a systematic removal from the cosmic stage by something greater, older and far more terrifying than we can comprehend, something that leaves behind no trace, something that ensures no one will ever know what happened, and what if this was not the first time? What if we are not looking at the remains of one lost empire, but one of many? What if, scattered across the universe, entire civilizations have risen, flourished, reached heights beyond our comprehension, only to vanish, their legacies wiped clean? What if something is out there watching, something waiting? But where do you even begin when chasing the ghosts of a civilization that no longer exists? No wreckage, no bodies, no echoes of their last words traveling through the cosmos. Just empty planets, cold and lifeless, places that should have been teeming with the remnants of an empire, yet now hold nothing but silence. Yet, despite the void they left behind, there are clues. Subtle anomalies buried within the fabric of the universe itself. Strange distortions in space-time where their colonies once stood. Unexplainable voids. Regions of space where even cosmic background radiation is missing, as if something tore a hole in existence itself. The astronomers of countless worlds have puzzled over these strange, empty regions for centuries. Vast pockets of absolute nothingness, where entire star systems should be. Theories emerged, Black holes, collapsed galaxies, the natural death of celestial bodies. But what if? These aren't natural. What if these voids are the scars left behind by something unnatural? Consider this. In the outer edges of the galaxy, far beyond the reach of human space, there exists a world catalogued as Vorshan 6, a planet once home to a civilization so old that their history predates even the formation of many modern galaxies. They were engineers of stars, architects of worlds. Their technology was not built, it was grown, forming structures so perfect, so intertwined with the natural order that they seemed like part of the universe itself. And yet, Vorshan 6 is a dead world, not in the way one might expect, not burned, not ravaged by war or disaster. It is simply got wrong. The very laws of physics seem fractured here. The planet's gravity fluctuates unpredictably. Time itself distorts near the surface, days stretching longer than they should, moments vanishing in an instant. And strangest of all, there are no ruins, not a single stone, not a single monument to mark their existence, only smooth, lifeless rock, as though the entire world had been cleansed. Something removed them, completely, not just their bodies, but their entire footprint on reality itself. And if Vorshan 6 was the only case, perhaps it could be dismissed as a cosmic anomaly, but it's not. It's happening everywhere, throughout. The known universe, deep space scans, and ancient star maps tell the same unsettling story. There should be civilizations here. There should be ruins, artifacts, remnants of those who came before, but there is nothing, just empty space, vast and untouched, where empires once stood. And then there are the signals, faint, almost imperceptible. Patterns buried deep within the static hum of the cosmos. Repeating intervals, sequences that shouldn't exist in nature, as if something is trying to communicate, or perhaps something is trying to warn us. One signal, recorded by an exploratory vessel near the Orion Expanse, sent shockwaves through the scientific community. A brief, flickering message, so fragmented, so distorted, that it was nearly impossible to decipher. But one word stood out. Run. Who sent it? And more importantly, who were they running from? The pieces are beginning to connect. A missing empire, a pattern of disappearances stretching back eons, a force that leaves nothing behind. But if the clues are all leading to something bigger, to something ancient, to something that should not exist, then we must ask ourselves the most terrifying question of all. If they were erased, who will be next? The deeper we search, the more unsettling the truth becomes. Civilizations don't just vanish. Even when species go extinct, their remains linger. Fossils, ruins, transmissions still echoing across time. Yet here, across the stars, something is different. Something unnatural. Something is erasing them. And if that's true, then the real question is not just what happened, but who or what is responsible, and worse, why? The forbidden records of the Ulai archives. There are whispers, fragments of knowledge passed between those who dare to search for forbidden truths. And deep within the Ulai archives, hidden within the remnants of an ancient long-dead race, there exists a record that has haunted those who have read it, a simple star chart. But unlike any other, this chart does not show the locations of celestial bodies. Instead, it marks where stars should be, a map of absence. Over 12,000 missing star systems, each one completely erased. Worlds that once flourished, now nothing but empty coordinates, black voids, where even light refuses to travel, not destroyed, not abandoned, just gone. And at the center of the pattern, a path, a sweeping arc that curves through the galactic core, a line of erasure stretching across history itself. As if whatever force was behind these disappearances had been moving systematically, consuming, cleansing, erasing. The implications are horrifying. If these civilizations were victims of something beyond comprehension, something that operates on a timescale longer than recorded history, then what if its work is not yet finished? What if we are simply seeing the after effects of something in motion, a process that has not yet reached us but will? The lost voices of the Andari transmission. The most chilling evidence of all, however, does not come from old maps or dead worlds. It comes from a message that was never meant to be heard. 2 centuries ago, an exploratory vessel known as the Andari 12 was surveying deep space anomalies near the galactic fringe. It was a routine mission, until they detected something strange, a signal, weak, decayed, but unmistakably artificial. It was old, incomprehensibly old. And buried within the static they found voices, desperate, terrified. The transmission was nearly impossible to reconstruct, but fragments of it remain. The few decipherable words still haunt those who have heard them. They're here, not ships, not life, something else. We thought they were God, but they are worse. We tried to hide. It didn't matter. They don't conquer. They don't negotiate. They don't stop. And then, only silence. The transmission ended abruptly, as if whatever was speaking had been cut off mid-sentence. The vessel that recorded the message, the Andari 12, never returned. It vanished without a trace, along with its crew. No wreckage was found, no distress signals, just gone. What are we dealing with? A rogue superweapon? An intelligence so advanced that it sees lesser civilizations as nothing more than insects to be exterminated. Or something even worse, something that doesn't destroy out of malice or conquest, something that simply erases because that is its nature, like a universal reset function, a cosmic predator, or a force of nature we were never meant to understand. And yet the clues are undeniable. This is not just an ancient mystery, this is happening right now. Somewhere out in the dark, a process has begun. A process that no one has survived to explain. And if the vanished empire was just another victim in a long, unbroken chain, then the real question is, how much time do we have left? The deeper we dig, the clearer it becomes. This is not a theory. This is not speculation. Something is moving through the universe, wiping entire civilizations from existence, leaving no trace, no ruins, no survivors. It has been happening for eons, and we are only now beginning to see the pattern. But what if it's already here? What if the process has already begun and we are simply too small, too insignificant to recognize the signs? Because recent discoveries, undeniable, horrifying discoveries, suggest that the erasure has already touched the edges of our reality, and we never even noticed. The silent collapse of Kepler 296f 5 years ago, a deep space observation array, detected something inexplicable, a sudden and complete disappearance of a planetary system. Kepler 296f, a world that had shown promising signs of habitability. A world that for decades astronomers had believed could host life. Its atmosphere had been rich with oxygen. Spectroscopic scans had detected artificial structures, not natural formations, but something built, something alive, and then nothing. No explosion, no supernova, no collision event. The entire system simply vanished from all detectable wavelengths. One day, it was there. The next, it was gone, as if it had never existed. The few scientists who dared to study the anomaly were dismissed. Sensor malfunction, the officials claimed, a miscalculation, but the evidence was undeniable. The universe itself had been altered. A piece of history had been removed, and if it could happen there, it could happen anywhere, even here. The Black Pyramid of HD 134587b, there is another discovery, one that few are willing to speak of. A structure that should not exist, orbiting a dead world where no civilization should have ever been. The HD 134587b anomaly, an ancient gas giant, unremarkable in every way, except for what orbits it. A structure, a perfect black pyramid, miles, in length, hovering in the void. Its surface is darker than any material known to science, absorbing light, absorbing radio waves, absorbing everything. It has no markings, no openings, no seams. It does not decay, it does not erode, it does not move, it should not be there. And yet it is. For years, unmanned probes have been sent to investigate, only for each one to fail. Some never return, others send back only fragments of data, corrupted images, distorted audio. And one just before it was lost, transmitted a single garbled phrase. It is not a warning, it is a tomb, a tomb. For what? For them or for something else? Something still waiting to be released. What if we are next? The pieces are forming a terrifying picture. The missing empire was not alone, it was one of many. The Black Pyramid. The erased star systems. The strange transmission. The message that simply said, run. But run where, if entire civilizations, with technology so advanced that they could harness the power of stars, were unable to escape? What chance do we have? And then the final revelation, one that no one is prepared to face. What if this is not something that happens? What if this is something that always happens? A cycle, a cosmic reset, sweeping through the universe like a silent wave, erasing civilizations at the peak of their development, removing them before they can become a threat. What if this is why we have never found intelligent life? Not because we are alone, but because every time a species reaches too far, discovers too much, unlocks knowledge beyond what it was ever meant to know, they disappear, gone, without a trace, just like the others. And the pattern, it is still moving. Still, erasing, still hunting, and if we have already seen the signs, then maybe it has already begun. The final revelation. The evidence is overwhelming. The disappearances are real. The patterns undeniable. Entire civilizations, some ancient, some recent, gone. Not destroyed, not abandoned, erased. And whatever is responsible, it is still out there, still moving, still consuming, still wiping the slate clean. And then, the final clue. A discovery so terrifying that it redefines everything we thought we knew about the universe. Discovery hidden in our own history. Because when we turn our gaze away from the stars, away from the lost empires and the silent voids, and instead look inward, we find something even more unsettling. Something that suggests we may not just be in danger, we may already be too late. The Earth anomaly, a timeline that doesn't add up for centuries. Humanity has searched for proof of extraterrestrial life. We've sent probes into deep space. We've scanned the skies for signals. We've searched every dark corner of the galaxy for someone, anyone, who might be out there. And yet we have found nothing. No ruins, no ancient starships, no transmissions from long-dead civilizations, only silence. And that silence, in itself, is an anomaly. Because statistically speaking, the galaxy should be teeming with life. We should have found evidence, signals, artifacts, something. Even if advanced civilizations had collapsed, their remnants should remain. Yet the universe around us is empty. Too empty. As if something has already passed through, wiping the record clean. And then the most disturbing realization of all. What if we were not meant to be here? What if our existence is a glitch in the cycle? A species that somehow slipped through the cracks? What if Earth itself is an anomaly? Because when we look closely at our own history, something doesn't add up. We are alone in a universe that should be full of life. We exist in a timeline where every other species before us has vanished, and, perhaps most unsettling of all, we don't remember anything before a certain point. The forgotten epoch, a memory that was never ours. There are gaps in our history, strange, unexplainable voids in our own timeline. Periods where knowledge should exist but does not. Ruins of civilizations far older than recorded history. Ancient structures that should not have been possible with the technology of their time. Myths of gods that descended from the stars who arrived suddenly and then vanished just as quickly. What if these myths were not myths at all? What if the stories of forgotten golden ages, of lost knowledge, of sudden disappearances? What if these were memories of something real? What if we were never the first? What if Earth was reset before, and what if right now we are approaching the threshold again? The final omen, a silent warning from the stars. The signals have not stopped. The voids in space are increasing. Something is moving closer, somewhere in the depths of intergalactic space, beyond the reach of our instruments. Something is watching. It does not speak. It does not announce its presence. It does not warn because it has no need to. It has done this before, countless times, across countless millennia, and soon, perhaps within our own lifetimes, it will arrive again, not with war, not with fire, not with conquest, but with erasure, complete, absolute. As if we were never here, as if humanity was nothing more than a whisper, a fleeting dream, in a universe that does not remember its dead. Final question, will we be next? If this is true, then the final question is not if it will happen, it is only when. And perhaps it already has. Perhaps we are only living in the final moments before history repeats itself, before the unknown force that has erased so many before us comes to finish what it started, and if there is no way to stop it, if the vanished empires, the lost civilizations, the warnings from the void were all correct, then maybe the last horrifying truth is this. By the time you finish watching this video, it may already be too late. Call to action. What do you think? Is it possible that we are simply the latest in a long line of civilizations doomed to vanish without a trace? Or is there something even more terrifying at work? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to uncover more dark secrets of the universe, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to XenoChronicles. Because in a universe this vast, this silent, the truth may be the only thing we have left.